Hello everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial video. With Ragnarok around the corner, I decided to expand and improve on my last tips video. In this one, I'm going to be covering everything from spawning in to the end of the first day, so everything that you should have accomplished day 1 in Ark. As a reminder, Ark is a really situational and a very preference-based game. No one's day 1 is going to look similar, but you can follow the same steps and always have some form of success at least. So let's get into it. Alright, just real quick for character customization, I will say if you're starting off on Ark, the best thing to do is just put everything to the lowest, female character, all that, and then just save as a template, hold on, there you go, just save as a template. That's all you gotta do. Then you can just name your character real quick and spawn in. Then I had a whole section already recorded with a bunch of code for you guys for performance updates, but the new update fixed a lot of that for us. So I'm gonna run through some basics y'all should use. Obviously put in stat FPS in your console command. That's just gonna show you your FPS. After that, you're gonna go ahead and enter in r.volumetriccloud 0. And this just removes cloud clutter and for whatever reason opens like 10 FPS. Then you get volumetric fog out of the way. What this one does is it kind of gets rid of like water particles, a lot of particles, fog, just frees up a bunch of FPS. After that, I do r.shadowquality 0, and as you can see, it gets rid of a lot of those extra shadows. It makes caves a lot brighter too and frees up a bunch of FPS. So if you compare now to when I started, that freed up a good like at least 30 consistent FPS there. I'm pushing 50 plus now. But in a typical wildcard fashion, they added a kind of buggy, at least on release, I'm not too sure about now, but they added a performance mode. So if you go into graphics and you head over to your graphics presets, you'll see performance only. I always turn off like light shafts and bloom and all that, and I set everything to low just to free up any extra performance you can. But I obviously don't need it. With this, I'm pushing 200 FPS though. So it might be a little bit glitchy for you in caves with the lighting, etc. But honestly, it's amazing that they added this. There was someone on a server I was playing on saying that they were playing on a 1060 Ti ASA, and it was running like 40 plus FPS. That's like low-key kind of impressive. So the game's not gonna look great, but you're playing PvE, you're playing PvP now, my bad. Frames are more important, and that's my opinion, and I think that's just fact. You want those extra frames. So there you go, some just commands, put those in, and your game will 100% be running better. So yeah, that would be the first thing I do. You log in on single player, you put everything in, and then you go ahead and do your note run. So just real quick. Alright, now let's say you did your little note run real quick. Now you're gonna go through and just put your points in. So me personally, especially because on ASA you can't level movement speed unless you're on a server that allows it, I always tend to just do a lot of HP. I always go for at least 200 stam, maybe a little more. The weight obviously around maybe 400, and the rest of this, as it goes on, you're just gonna pump a lot more HP, some more stamina maybe. I wouldn't really do oxygen, maybe a little, but just weight, HP, some melee if that's the build you're going for, but me personally I don't. And some crafting skill if you have the points for it, why not? But that's not really what we're here for. If you need to do a note run, there's plenty of videos out there that show you more in depth how to do a proper note run. After doing the basics, it's time to get your starter kit made. Again, this is assuming that you're playing on an unofficial server or a low rate server, not a boosted server where you can get starters out of drops. You're going to want to get ahead and get your stone pick. You're going to get the hatchet after, kill dinos on the beach, etc. Eventually, you're going to end up with your pick, your hatchet, hide armor, a torch, shield, bolas, and a slingshot. It's always a slingshot meta. I'm gonna explain that later. But also, you know, you could add in a bow, spears, club, but it's up to your preference. You just need to make sure you have the essentials. So, of course, the bola, the shield, the torch, and the armor. Now, once you got all that shit just situated, you're gonna go for the most important part, which is going to be taming a PT. The PT rush, obviously, been a thing since, you know, 2015 Ark. You're gonna take the slingshot because it's underrated. People usually go for tranks or a club or something. Just get a slingshot, save yourself time. A slingshot can knock out most PTs. But yeah, you're just gonna knock it out. The level doesn't really matter. See, this is where things get a little, you know, it really depends on what you're going for. Yes, it's better to go for a better PT, but if you're on island and you can't transfer off, then get whatever you can find, especially on official. Now, if you're able to transfer to like an unofficial server real quick, or not unofficial, but if you're able to transfer to like, let's say Ragnarok when it comes out, or you're able to transfer to center and it's not capped or anything, then for sure that's what you should be doing. Get yourself a better PT. But to start the game off, get this PT, level 20, whatever, it doesn't matter. Now, real quick, while that PT tames, you're gonna wanna just try and get some chitin real quick. If you're on a island, then you can find some trilobites really easily on the beach. They give you chitin, they'll give you some pearls, oil, not a lot of those, but it's just some, you know, if you can kill a couple of them, that's better. I believe I'm on 3x right now, and I got 80 chitin from it, so that's enough already to make the PT saddle. It takes 75. So if you can get extra, it just helps you, because you can make a saddle for your trimates, or you could turn some of that chitin into paste. You can also use keratin, don't forget that, so you can kill some trikes, you can kill some turtles if you need to, whatever, just to get that keratin or that chitin that you need. And moving on to step number 3. After you get the PT and the saddle, you're gonna have a couple options based on what your situation is. You can either meet up with your tribe, that's pretty self-explanatory, you know, they already have a base built, they already have things going, you just go meet up with them. If you're on an unofficial server, usually, I mean, you can do it unofficial, but you might go to rush and claim a base spot. But for the sake of this video, we're going to assume that you're solo or you're in a small tribe and you're pretty new to the game, you don't really know where to go, what to do, so you're going to find an appealing place that has resources to farm, just somewhere good to start off. A lot of people here will go ahead and take the raft route, that's what I see a lot of new players do, and it can work, but I don't personally recommend it. Rafts are really glitchy, especially on ASA, and also they can be kind of hard to farm in, especially on official. So I'm gonna also just play a little clip here just so y'all can see what I mean about them being glitchy and kind of annoying to use.
Spanish in Texas, I don't know how he got out.
Do you want me to try to get you out?
Yeah, he's already out.
Alright, well,
wait, he's back. He walked back in. I'm up.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Can you stream, Kirby? What is going on? Oh, you are.
Door's on the left.
I literally can't move. It's so fucking laggy. Wait. Dude, the.
So yeah, as you can see, rafts are just hell to deal with. That was on official ArkPog. Some series I was gonna upload but ended up not editing out, so I found some use for it. But yeah, you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna find a spot that is just appealing to you. And with your base put down, you're ready to get into step 4. Your base should have all the essentials inside of it. You should have the mortar and pestle, you should have your smithy, refining forges, and some storage, and beds of course. So after you have all this set up, it's time to move into step 4 fully. which is you're going to keep farming, you're going to keep snowballing. Now that you have a base set up, you want to keep your forges full, and the best way to do that is to start getting your essential tames. So that means going out, tame things like an Argy. I'll show how to make an Argy trap. Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to make an Argy trap on ASA really quick. All you have to do is 1 foundation, 3 walls, a door, and then a ramp on the opposite side of the door. So essentially you're going to lead the Argy in through the open wall where there's no door frame. The Argy will come in, and as soon as it comes in, you come off to the side, open the door, and it'll be trapped. Won't be able to come out of this. Alright, so we're going to show it real quick. And just like that, the Argy's trapped. You get out your crossbow, whatever you need, knock it out, tame it up real quick, spike it off if you need to, and honestly, it's super simple. You should have one very fast, regardless of the server you're on. If they're viable on the server you're on, you should have one. Then you're gonna go ahead and start taming things like an Anki, or if you're on ab, maybe you need a crab. Whatever it is, you're going to tame the essentials for early game. The whole point of step 4 is to just start snowballing your progress. And another thing that you need to do is figure out what your goal is. Ark is entirely about snowballing, and if you don't have a goal in mind, you won't really know what to prioritize. For every new player, one of the biggest goals you should have, if you don't have a specific thing in mind, would be just by end of day 1, if you want to survive, you should have heavy turrets up. Heavy turrets are just so important. Most people won't have good flak, they're not going to have good soakers day 1, so having a couple heavies up and you're pretty much safe. You can go to bed and feel safer than if you just had some autos up. So for heavy turrets, you need to start getting in your mind, what do I need to do in order to get heavies? So when it comes to actually reaching level 100 to unlock heavy turrets, there's a lot of different methods you can take. You can either, if you're on island, one of the just best methods overall is you get a Megatherium, you head over to the swamp cave with a 4x note, and you'll pretty much guaranteed to get level 100. You can also go to Extinction and kill Spinos and other high level dinos with an XP note and a shotgun. You can do the same thing with an XP note and an Elevane or an OSD on Extinction. You can also go to Astros and do an OSD or an Elevane using Pyromanes. Those will most likely get you level 100, and that's actually a strat that I was not aware of. It didn't cross my mind because I don't have Pyromanes unlocked, but next time I play official, that's for sure what I'm gonna do, because it's uncontested and it's super free on Astros. Another one, and a method that I'm actually doing in the clip I'm showing right now, is you just kill Astral Dinos on Astros. It's a good BP farm, and also they give you a lot of XP. So another thing is they also spawn. A lot of them spawn. They're all over the map. So for me, day 1, I killed just every single one I came across while farming, and I reached level 100 by the end of the day. So honestly, it works. Not the best strategy, but getting level 100 is the most important thing for day 1. And another thing I'd like to point out is that only one of you in the tribe day 1 needs level 100. So let's say there's 3 of you. One of you should be getting that level 100, and the other 2 of you should just be farming. Unless you guys are, happy and able to work with everyone getting level 100 and not really worrying about the base too much until you get heavies, that's perfectly fine. But if you're trying to just get big fast, I'd recommend 2 people stay back, fill forges, get everything you need in order to craft an indie forge when you're able to, a chem bench, to be able to craft the heavy turrets themselves. So yeah, I really would just recommend 1 person focus on 100. Everyone else needs to keep those forges full, keep the pace crafting, whatever it is that you're doing. Everyone needs to be farming, so that when you hit that level 100, you're able to actually make use of it. And this leads us straight into step 5. So at this point, if PvP has been avoided and you haven't been raided, which is unlikely, but hopefully you stuck around, you thugged it out, and now you're back to where, back to step 4. At this point, you need to be getting your turrets up, you need to be getting Plan X up. I'm not talking about heavy turrets. I'm talking about at least auto turrets. If you don't have heavy turrets learned yet, which right now I'm talking about, you know, a couple hours in a wipe at most. So you might not have heavies yet, but you need to be getting some autos up. Put them on the corners of the base, and you should be getting your tames going. You should be getting Plan X growing, put down crop plots, whatever. But at this point, you need to be fortifying your base. I'm going to show a little starter base from what we had at the beginning of our wipe too. Just to show you guys that, you know, progress looks different for everyone, but as long as you have like the basics and the necessities, you should be okay. And now we get into step 6. This is where you are pushing for your goal. So at this point, now you have your turrets up, your base is probably metal, you have Plan X grown or growing, you have your starter tames, you have your goal in mind, you're farming, you're doing everything that needs to be done. So now you gotta get the first big snowball. You need to get an industrial forge down or a chem bench. Whichever one comes first, honestly, I usually go industrial forge just because it lets you pump out metal a little bit faster. Some people will do chem bench. I don't think it's necessary. You should have it by the end of the day though, for sure. Don't get me wrong. But for right now, I would go industrial forge first. Put it down, start pumping out metal, and then from there, you need to be focusing on getting that heavy turret. By the end of step 6, you should have heavy turrets. So this step will last until you unlock heavy turrets. So you're going to do whatever method you chose to do. Let's say you chose to run Swamp Cave on Island. You have the gear you need, you have the equipment ready, you have your Megatherium tamed up, you bring it over, and you're running the cave. You get level 100, you're heading back to base, you're picking up the auto turrets you've already crafted and put down, and you're turning those into your heavy turrets. Once that's done, honestly, there's really not much more to it. You're just going to keep playing the game. You're going to keep on taming things, and then that's where we're going to get into step 7. Finally, for the 7th tip and the 7th step, you have unlocked heavy turrets, you've crafted them, and you're placing them down. By this point, you've already accomplished pretty much the bare minimum for day 1. So, good job, you survived this long and you made it this far. Most people won't be rating you unless you're on an unofficial server where you should probably have tech, or you're just built in a really bad location. But obviously, that's just Ark. But you getting heavy turrets has probably saved you from a lot of other people. So, you can go to sleep and feel a little bit safe. Maybe get 3 hours of sleep instead of 2 tonight. Anyways, at this point, you are basically just going to continue with playing the game now. If you do live for another day, now set your goal for day 2. Maybe I'll make a day 2 guide. But all Ark is a game of snowballing and making do with what you have. So even if you couldn't make it this far on day 1, if you do last until day 2 without it, because it's completely possible, just make this your goal for day 2. It doesn't matter what you have or when you have it, you just need to make do with whatever it is that you have. So yeah, quick recap. You're starting off, you're making your character, you're optimizing your note run, you're getting a kit ready so that you're ready for any early game PvP on the beach. You're getting a PT, a main wing, an Argy, whatever flyer you can, finding your spot, getting started, getting those refining forges down, getting a stone base going, and then from there you're going out taming, you're figuring out how exactly you want to play this wipe that you're on, and getting some turrets up, getting some Plan X up, you're farming, you're getting that indie forge, you're reaching level 100, however you chose, and hopefully by the end of that you're calling it a day and getting off this godforsaken game. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this guide. I do plan on doing more of them in the future. I will most likely do a guide for Rag when it comes out. I will most likely do a guide for Astros, just because that map has a lot of just very unique elements to it. And I'm probably going to make some more intermediate guides. I'll probably have some more beginner guides, just everything. So this is all going to be alongside normal PvP content probably too. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, Subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.